for engage and for, you know, just setting up for early dives. But I like this more.
Yeah. And now you've got like Justice Punch, that's a dash. Audacious Charge, that's a dash. Rakan, that's a dash. So they're not going to pick Rakan, thank goodness. You can see a wry smile on Carrier's face, but he's still going to lock it in. So this is scary for T1.
He looks really reluctant to play it here.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make it clear to everyone, he knows the risks associated with this lock-in, and he's not happy with it, but Tom's made the call. Perhaps it's Faker who's ultimately decided, but at the end of the day, he is going to be playing that Lovers duo down in the bottom lane into a Poppy. Going to be quite challenging. The range issue here as well. Like, sure, you have poke from Doran on the Jace, but you don't have long range for your AD carry. There's a decent front line here with the Ambessa, but there's just so many threats that Xayah's ult needs to be utilized very, very well, very carefully.
What their engage wants to do. Let's dive into the rift, see what happens. All right, T1 fans in full voice. We'll see whether DRX can try and silence LoL Park here in game one. They do have the power of the blue side. They do have what we see as a decent draft. But T1 are still T1. We'll see whether they can get over the line utilizing that. We've seen already that DK, pretty formidable opposition after dispatching with their foes this morning. Pretty comfortably, one could say. And so T1 losing to them feels a little bit less bad. If they lost to DRX here, though, that would certainly not be great. Especially because that basically confirms that Group Baron is doomed.
Yes. Have to agree with you on that. And you can lose to one of the top teams in Group Elder, but if you start to lose to some of the shakier ones, things look a little bit rougher. It's a pretty tough level 1 for DRX's composition, so they can't force the vision control they'd like to otherwise have here, but LazyFeel and Andil will be able to safely go up here on this ward. Now, Doran is playing Jace, and Rich is playing Ambessa. I know everyone...
Really, really good. It's always been a treat.
Oh,
LazyFeel, this is a treat for him and not one that he really wants. I think knows that he's dead as he throws down the barrier. There's the wind becomes lightning. His owner is going to make sure that the Ezreal dies, and over the wall goes Sponge, understanding that this 1v2 is not one that he can take. First blood to T1.
Yeah, a little bit overzealous on the barrier, you would have to say, but owner does have to flash here ultimately. Now looking for a little bit more down here on the Rich. That's such a high-value ward that...
Information. All right, there's the weave as well. Andil flashing over, looking for Carrier. Hasn't pressed that W just yet, as there it is. Into the wall they go. Seismic Shove is fantastic. Heroic entrance. Not getting the knockups they're looking for, but Andil still in trouble. Carrier going to be going down first, though, as it's both supports lying on the floor. The barrier comes in. LazyFeel is still going to get cut down by the feathers, and Ucal, oh no, doesn't manage to hit the rocks. As the flash goes forward, the Justice Punch comes in, and oh, that was actually really cute there from Ucal as well. Does have to flash out of the way, but was going to catch Faker there with the flick back.
Yeah, that was a really nice shove attempt there to deny Faker from going in for that knockup. But ultimately, Faker just stops the channel, and that's the end of that. So Ucal does get out with his
Did he get stopped because the rocks were still there?
I'm actually not sure.
Looked a little bit weird.
Well, we'll see maybe on the replay.
We'll check in.
I thought he just went back.
Oh no, there weren't any rocks.
Yeah, I think he just went back, but...
Oh man, that's unfortunate. So T1 going to start off this dragon. They've already got first blood, and it is 2-1 in grubs, but that means that no one gets the feat of strength. So no one's feet are that powerful just yet.
And you were able to see that like right away.
But it was weird, like because you can't cancel Justice Punch, right? Like so, as soon as you're starting to do that, like something had to stop him. Well, but I was sure the rocks weren't there.
Yeah, I thought he just went into the wall maybe, but the rock was there. Yeah. Anyway.
Get on the board for DRX. Have to see them find a bit of an angle here. Sponge even finding an interrupt on Carrier. There's a cease and desist as well. Seismic Shove pushes him back. Carrier's just dead. Heroic entrance might be heroic, but it is not going to save that Rakan.
Doran?
Yeah, Rich going to be like finding the ultimate. Immediately onto Doran here, and oh, Sponge. Perfect positioning once again. Continues charging, but that's a great flash from Doran. Able to get that hammer blow back as well, and Andil's
We've got the first of the object. Yeah, he just is out here way too far with no teammates. Like,
and the good old
backing.
The problem was it wasn't a reactionary steadfast presence. It was instead and I'm panicking. I need it for the movement speed, and then they just wait it out. And they get the kill over to Faker as well, so that's it's a little bit of a worry here if he continues to get powered up. And Sponge going to be denying that one, so only one objective to be taken here by DRX.
Critically gets that one without the smite, so has another opportunity to grab an additional.
Yeah. Handel is level 6, did manage to make it there as the wall comes through. They're looking for Gumayusi. They will be giving away a few of these grubs, but Gumayusi is going to die. Does have to use all of the summoner spells as Yukao could almost just die here, and Gumayusi will survive. T1 take 4 out of the 6 grubs in the early stages of the game as well, and I'd say if you're a T1 fan, you're real happy with how that one went.
I mean, I told everyone he's the one you can trust.
Never mind. Maybe don't be. Oh, never mind. He's fine.
He's the one you can trust.
Totally fine. Calculated. Yeah, you can.
Giving up the grubs as well. Now Rich is isolated. Sponge comes over. Does have ult flash.
Yeah. Let's see whether they can deny this first turret, because that'll mean feats of strength going over to T1. Faker. Let's see it. Okay, there is the public execution, and Doran will be going down first. Oh, they take their time! They take too long! And he's able to get the kill onto Rich. Sponge versus Faker here. I think it's probably still pretty good for Faker, despite the fact that he is Galio, not necessarily good at dealing with physical damage, but he's just able to walk it off.
Okay, well that ended up being pretty bizarre, but Doran is going to be really happy with the result, because now obviously topside with no jungler here to threaten, Guma's going to get additional plate gold with Carrier, looking for the first turret as well, which would be feats for them.
Yep, that's
they won't get it.
Strength. So T1 will be able to collect that one for themselves. And it's just going kind of from bad to worse here for DRX. Like, I really do like the answers that DRX has.
Yeah.
Like, for what T1 are trying to do. But unfortunately, T1 are just really, really good at playing out compositions like this. You know, like the protect the president, Faker with a lot of utility, owner on a champion that can just brawl with you early on in the game. And in this composition, Doran's kind of irrelevant, right? Like, you want to put him in a side lane. He wants to be...
And now Doran's going to grab this turret as well. And man, T1 snowballing this gold lead. 2 turrets,
yeah.
3,000 gold ahead at 14 minutes. Feats of strength on top of it all.
They're going to opt out. Rift Herald started up here for T1. And are DRX going to be capable of stopping T1 from just getting what they want in this game? That's the big question.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this fight the answer is no. They're just not set up for it at all. I mean, they're not even here. That delay on the back was pretty huge, actually. You know, Rich plus his sword 10 boots, you know, adding up a little bit.
Yeah, I like the fact that he went Silk Shoes. Actually going for a bit more damage than you otherwise get. Almost towards the burn urn, perhaps. Unless he does go for, you know, something else, could be a little bit more of a battle Galio, but that is going to be second dragon for T1. Ocean Soul this game, as Lazy Feel trying to dash forward, make things happen. Muramana not quite done just yet.
T1 have gotten basically everything but that first dragon. And they're looking for more here.
Yep, Ona going in. Oh, the seismic shove is gorgeous, but he does have that crescent guard. They're trying to block these dashes. The Xin goes down as Rich zoning Gumayusi out of this fight. Sponge just getting the heck out of there. Red buff will be secured here by Doran, but he might die for it. That could be a little bit of a problem. Faker able to make his way out as there's a public execution this time onto Faker, but he creates the distance he's looking for. Featherstorm comes through from Gumayusi. He's still at full health as the heroic entrance, once again not finding a lot of value. Decent knockup. Faker is likely to go down, but he trades for Sponge. Yukao's over the wall. The seismic shove onto Doran. He finds the big rock carrier. Is he able to get out the battle dance? Says absolutely, because he just dashes all over the place, and they don't have infinite rocks. They don't have the most steadfast presence, but they do have Rich. And let's see whether he can grab a double here. The grand entrance is decent. Seismic shove misses. And oh my god, they had like 20 health between them.
I mean, Guma held his flash in very end.
Oh, true shot barrage. Oh, it gets him. And Carry gets taken down. Andil, big giggle for that one.
This is a big win though for DRX.
Oh,
I mean, they take a kill lead here. The gold lead is thinned out significantly. Only 2,000 behind. That'll get even smaller once this turret falls here. Rich will get the whole thing his way out. I know, we have more.
Oh dear. Gumayusi's dead. There it is. That is the cease and desist plus the seismic shove combo that we've seen so many times.
Yeah.
And this looks like it could be an Arakan angle for DRX.
I mean, definitely an opportunity here. Guma's ult was like 10 seconds away. Now Faker's in danger.
Yep, seismic shove does find him one more time, as the Galio is pretty tanky, so not going to be killing him just yet. But That may have convinced him to leave. No teleport up and available. The heroic entrance also not there as teleport coming in towards his top side. And Rich is going to join, looking to try and get rid of Doran. There is still an outer turret up there, so he does have a bastion of safety he can head towards. And Owner could make this interesting. Keeper's Verdict comes down as there is the public execution. DRX looking to dive on top of the jungler, but Sponge is already down. Meanwhile, there's a battle on multiple fronts. Doran and Carrier looking like they're almost winning as LazyFeel wants to take down Doran, and he will be able to get there. In the meantime, Rich is limping away from the battle, and Owner says absolutely not. And then Andil can do absolutely nothing. Gumayusi, he'll turn up extraordinarily late, probably just to help his team grab this Arakan buff.
LazyFeel is in no man's land as well. Looking for some damage here onto Guma, but I think his fate is sealed.
Yeah, let's see whether LazyFeel can make this interesting. Arakan is on his team at the moment as LazyFeel. Oh man, I got so excited that something could almost happen.
Yeah, a little bit interesting.
Yeah. Gumayusi pressed barrier, so I guess he got that.
Well, I mean, now that he's done enough damage here to where they can't really Otacon safely, and they're going to have to back. This area is so free to take. And DRX don't have the damage just yet. I mean, their Ezreal's on 2.5 items, but they don't have the damage to crush Otacon in return. They're going to look for a dive on a Faker instead.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird, that whole situation, as Sponge presses the ultimate button. Faker gets out of the turret range. True Shot Barrage is going to help aid it. And Yukal not wanting to take any chances. He's going to use that ultimate just to make sure that they have as many people in the area as possible.
I mean, you get Faker, you should be able to get this turret. So you get something in return for that dragon that did go over. This took a lot of resources to do so. A lot of health bars getting low means it's tough to actually think this out. As Guma's splitting.
Yeah, he should be able to get this in a turret as well. Carrier is making sure that he's being as frustrating as possible as Andil finds a heroic charge. He's the only one here. Keeper's Verdict comes down. There's a public execution as, of course, Ambessa can show up at a moment's notice. Doran is just so tanky, though. He gets over the wall. No one's dead quite yet, but Gumayusi is now going to turn up, and now it's Owner's turn. Oh, he gets pushed into the seismic shot, but it doesn't matter. He is so tanky, it is absurd. And Doran is still raining these shock blasts forward. I mean, tank Jace is so frustrating, man.
I guess it's just a trick, man. It seems like you can kill Jace because you're used to killing Jace all the time, but you can't kill him.
He used to be tank. Well, he's not that tanky, I guess, if Richard comes and kills him when he's on like 0 health. That's a lot of value from that Featherstorm as the True Shot Barrage sails by. Sponge in the back of this pit right now. Another opportunity for Yukal as the fists are doing the talking. For Sponge here at this stage. Not enough dashes there, unfortunately, for Rich, who will just get pummeled by this Galio, and this game has devolved.
Yeah, I mean, too bad this didn't happen just a few minutes ago. You know, like maybe like 11 minutes ago, we could have maybe had Ruinous.
True.
But yeah, T1 playing fast and loose, and LazyFeel ended up cleaning up a lot of those kills there in that last moment. And
all right, we need a Gleaming Quill steal. That's what we need. Oh, okay, there's a teleport. Remember, if this goes down in favor of DRX, they don't care if you kill them, because they just come back
alive. But Guma actually gets so much value out of his ultimate, but then ultimately still goes down.
Okay. All right, Gumayusi once again trying to get some value out of some stuff. Triple seismic shove, and down goes the Xayah, and it's a free ticket back to the base to spend some of that money for Sponge. Speaking of the Winds of War, but a little bit late. The battle is kind of over. Now Baron is up and available. I don't know about this one, DRX. That would be an optimistic choice. Owner is still up and available. Andil going for some options here. As all right, Rich, public execution gonna go wide.
Yeah, well,
a bit private.
Yeah, I mean, they're just feeling like because they have these reses, they're gonna be able to take out Baron. Still fairly greedy here from DRX.
Yeah, a few things on cooldown now as Carrier is trying to battle dance around this fight. Andil off to the side, Keeper's Verdict. This could be so valuable, but instead he holds onto it. Heroic entrance coming on down there as they get a few knockups. Heroic charge onto the Galio, but he's so tanky. As T1, the more of these send homes that they can get without losing anyone, it's very important. 100 gold going over to Faker here as Rich. I'm not sure about that one, my friend, as he's going to dash around the fight and look for an opportunity to get something done, but he is just going to die as Doran likely to fall as well. A 1-for-1 as far as top lane is. but I think it's probably still pretty good for T1.
Win it, and it was just a bit bizarre here that T1, and then like Rich teleporting back in is actually just not allowed. It's like,
yeah,
okay.
this was the big problem scenario, as we're having a look at a potential Ocean Soul for T1. Carrier getting over the wall here as Doran. Mega tanky. He's got his Spear of Sojourn now, so he's doing a bit more damage on top of everything, but man, it's looking a little bit frightening. All right, there's a Weave as well. Okay, UCal, that is an aggressive move. The True Shot Barrage doing so much damage. Another great shove, but Andil still going to be lying on the floor. Sponge goes in. It's going to be the secure of the soul, and this heroic entrance is looking pretty good. Still Ambessa trying to get some work done. Owner is so tanky, it doesn't make any sense. The rock's not going to be enough, but LazyFeel is able to get that kill in the end. He's going to have to be a real hero now, though, because there are 3 T1 members looking for him and UCal.
He's got his passive. Maybe he gets out.
Yep, Grand Entrance coming down. Seismic Shove is decent as Carrier. Will he actually go down? That's the question. He's trying to back, and it looks like he will survive. LazyFeel missing a bunch of buttons, and there's a flash forward from Gumiushi. 432 gold. Lying on the floor now is LazyFeel, unfortunately, and T1, they should be able to take what they want.
This doesn't feel like a pro game, Atlas.
This feels, yeah, this is fast and loose.
I don't even know what to analyze, you know?
Carrier and Owner making their way in, though. Let's see whether UCal can actually join to save the top laner, as Faker soaking a bit of damage, but otherwise isn't too worried about it. Riftmaker completed. He's got a Lich Bane. This is Battle Galio, if ever I've seen one. Sponge standing on a ward, a little bit unfortunate there, as the Seismic Shove doesn't get too much value. Brock's there on the ground as Owner turns up, and he's real scary. Rich as well, sitting at 50%. Owner just trying to get himself out of there, and the dash will be denied. This steadfast presence pretty good from Andil, and what we want to see is so much more from Andil.
Yeah,
I think the Keeper's Verdicts need to start landing if DRX want any hope.
It's the only way they can steal away this Baron is to knock half of T1 away, but T1 are obviously also aware of it. Rich going to teleport back in. This one more reasonable. Look at the flank angle here for Carrier, though. Unseen.
Oh, no. Andil's going to whiff it. They can't see the health bars as Heroic Charge might make up for it. Doran is so tanky, though. Stop engaging on this guy. As Carrier will be able to dash his way out. True Shot Barrage almost managed to steal it. Seismic Shove on it 2 again. But they've got health bars for days. They've got buffs all over the place. And DRX are just running out of hope in this game.
I think a lot of why this game looks so weird is because both of these teams have such a defensive advantage through these choke points with the taunt, with the rocks, with the shoves. But T1 are just so far ahead at this point. They have positional advantage there. Carrier's going to get caught. I don't know how much it matters.
Yeah, LazyFeel, yeah, he's going to be flashing away from that one very quickly.
That's going to be an inhibitor going down here.
Oh, there's the flash taunt. Going to connect onto 2 of them. In goes Andil, though, to try and stop this one from happening. But LazyFeel, in the blink of an eye, he disappeared. The Ambassador as well. Sorry, Rich. But it's a gray screen for now, and it looks like T1, they may not be stopping here. They might just be finishing this game off. Their first win on red side, and a pretty good sign if you want Baron to make a comeback in terms of the battle of the groups. The world champs finally on the board here with a victory over DRX here in game 1 at least. So I guess not necessarily finally on the board. Still need to do it one more time. This was a much better showing than what we saw a couple of days ago.